Allison Lauren Bobette. I am 28 years old. I was born on January 30th, 1985 in Barrie, Ontario at Royal Victoria Hospital. After 28 years, I know that I was born not to fit in. I was born to stand out. I am a person with special needs. Shortly after I was born, my parents' sister and I went to live in the Middle East, and that helped me learn all about inclusion and how the world is all different and not the same. Afterwards, we came back to Barrie and I started attending public school. It was then that I felt very different because I was the only one that had a helper. Special needs people bring a lot of love and caring to the world, and you will discover they will surprise you.
Well, the very first time I met him at Movies for You when I was working at the movie store, and then I took a job skills course and I met him again. So, I guess you can say it was destiny.
My nose was itchy.
No.
We were in the same class. We were on opposite tables of the table, and I just fell in love with their smile.
I liked his great sense of humor and his personality. He didn't know how to propose to me until he went down to the liquor store and asked, "What's the best wine in town that I can give to Jocelyn's dad?"
It was nerve-wracking that day, and I don't know squat about wine.
When it came to our first dance, I took a lesson or two from my mom and dad's dance teachers, 6 weeks of practice before the wedding, and I learned to dance to Billy Joel, Just the Way You Are, and it was one of the best dances that and hardest that I've ever learned how to do, but accomplished.
Jocelyn had a normal birth, and age 2, she had a seizure in her sleep. Turned out to be a really significant seizure that she didn't gain consciousness and was ambulanced to sick kids. She fought to live for over 2 weeks, and it was very aggressive treatment for her. Jocelyn seizured every day of her life until she was 18. A girl with a lot of cat lives, and yeah, she's pretty, wow, real miracle girl in our opinion anyway.
A lot of special needs can be hard, and a lot of special needs are easy. But being a one-handed golfer, a one-handed bowler, and one-handed all the time is very hard, but challenging at the same time. In, yes. I like the challenges, and I like all the company and what you learn through the sport. That's what I like about the sport.
Good game.
It does make me a stronger person when I'm doing things on my own and trying to accomplish more and more every day.
I guess I'm wondering if he's going to be out today.
He might be.
You gotta understand Albert's sense of humor and know that he's behind the scenes, a lot more going on than meets the eye, right? And he's a very sharp guy, and he knows how to be social with people. He knows how to get his own way, and he's done very well with this. And we totally love him. He's right in our hearts for sure.
How are you? Good, how are you? Not bad. I've been here 7 years, and all the money I earned here went for my wife's promise ring, engagement ring, and wedding band.
How do you like working here?
It's awesome.
He's a delight, and he's very diligent about his work, and he does a great job outside in winter. He loves shoveling snow, and he does help us with charities. We're involved with Big Bike for Heart and Stroke, and he's a great money raiser.
Oh, Albert's a big part of all of our lives. He's helped Jocelyn realize dreams herself and her independence, and he encourages her with sports, and it's kind of a win-win for all of us because Hugh and I have more independence now that Jocelyn is with Albert, and it's terrific for Albert and it's terrific for Jocelyn, and I think everybody's just really happy that they found each other.
I am proud of the many things I've achieved in my life so far, including receiving my college diploma from Sault College with honors. My parents have always supported me and raised me to believe that even though I may have special needs, there is nothing in this world that I cannot do if I want it bad enough.
So how's work going?
Going slow.
It's slow. Not too many people getting their hair done lately?
Just
No?
prom.
Just prom hair? Oh, very cool. Taylor is a very outgoing young man. He's very flamboyant. He has lots of energy and enjoys the Ellen DeGeneres show and the Backstreet Boys. He loves looking good. He's very stylish, and he's a wonderful person and easy to get along with.
When did baseball start?
Yeah, last week was the first game, right?
Yeah, no, on Tuesday.
Taylor grew up in North Vancouver, BC. He was diagnosed with autism just before he turned 3 years old. He couldn't speak very well, and he was way off the growth charts. He was pretty tall for his age.
They're my favorite band. They're putting it anniversary this year.
All the supports he's been getting. His social skills have very much improved. His self-esteem has improved very, very, very much. He's got much more self-awareness. I think he's become a new person. Oh, all right, dear. Very proud of you.
Taylor has a job at Status Salon. He started there about 2 years ago, and he loves it. He washes people's hair while he's there and does the sweeping, and he is a part of a team there, which is so wonderful.
I love it. I love our job. I love everything. I love helping people out, new customers every day. The best thing I like about stuff is seeing the paycheck.
It's opened up his social life, so quite often his peers at work will invite him out to do fun things like wings and pizza, and he just really enjoys his job, and it gives him such a sense of pride.
Taylor just wants a chance to be part of something he can start, finish, be part of a team where he knows he can fit in, and he does a great job. It's just like everyone else here.
Hi Alan, I love this show so much. Can you meet me so for my birthday this year, please? I'll be so happy.
He's just done wonders. He's just fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Great human being and the love of my life.
That's right.
People with intellectual disabilities used to live in institutions. By the 1950s, parents of children with disabilities wanted to have programs in that community. They did not want to send their kids away to institutions. That's how local organizations like Simcoe Community Services got started.
Your mother took this agency from one person to about 600 staff, serving thousands of people. I want to thank you very much, and her spirit lives in all of us.
If my mother was still here today, she would say, please give these people a chance. They deserve the same chance as everybody else. They're God's children, just like you and I.
We've come to the mayor today to talk about Don's issues that he's having within the community, to the point where he's having people react in quite a negative way towards him because of his cerebral palsy, to the extent that he has had policemen come to him and inquire as to whether or not he's drunk or impaired because of his speech problem and his balance problem.
Maybe where I got people stare at me and they do not say what matter with you, they give me weird stare.
Don is quite frustrated with it and would like to get some more information out into the community, and he thought the best way of doing that would be to contact the mayor and see if we could come in and talk to him about how we can get more education out into the public in regards to invisible disabilities like his.
Good luck. Thanks, I need it.
Hi, Don. I'm Jeff Lehman.
Hi, Jeff.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi there. Hi, Lynn. How are you? Nice to meet you. Come on in. Have a seat. So, Don, why don't you tell me about some of the situations you've encountered and what you'd like to see change about Barrie and the way people deal with you. It's really important to me that Barrie is a welcoming place for everybody. And trying to change attitudes sometimes is just a matter of making people think twice or be a little more aware that somebody who may sound a little bit different, it's just the same fundamentally as everyone else. Even as we become a bigger city, we recognize people's differences and that we're open to all.
So they've offered some suggestions to us, which we're going to take, and one of those would be hopefully to attend an accessibility committee meeting with the City of Barrie.
I feel great. I wish people stop me and say, what matter with you? Then they understand, but they don't.
Don is on our radar. The Accessibility Advisory Committee is very much interested in doing some awareness raising activities and events related to invisible disabilities, and we'd love to have Don partner with us to facilitate those learning opportunities.
I'm very proud of him. He's right from the get-go, this has been his idea, wanting to come here and bring this forth in order for him to get out there and get involved in his community and be a voice for not only himself but for everyone with invisible disabilities.
Yahoo! We missed, but I hope we are doing good.
Let me tell you what empathy is. Empathy, when you see something good that's happening to someone else, something that you would like to happen to you, this is how you show empathy. You say, yay! Yes! What do you do? How you show empathy? Yay! Yes!
Well, it's our first experience with something like this, and it's wonderful for Henry. It's great to see him interacting with the other youth and making friends and having new experiences. And it's a great place for him to practice being more independent and doing things on his own. It's wonderful. We're having a great time.
Lots of new experiences, lots of new people to meet, great food. Oh, there's too much to say, still little time.
Henry's been very interested in Shelby and asking me why she's in the wheelchair. And he asked someone and found out, and he didn't think she could talk because she was in a wheelchair. And so we said, no, she can. So he just went over. He wanted to meet her and introduce himself to her. So it's kind of a learning experience for him to see all the different types of disabilities. He's quite curious about it all and wanting to meet the different people. So that's what just happened.
I have been best friends with Shari Beauchamp ever since I took her public speaking course. She has become a wonderful mentor and trusted friend. She is one of my special guardian angels on earth.
It's fantastic to hear.
Bob Gervais and Harold Dougal are the best of friends. They have been the best of friends for many years, and Bob had a dream of living on his own. With Harold's help and Bob's ideas of wanting to live independently, he had come to me as a senior support worker, and together we put in the supports in place of having Bob live independently. And his buddy Harold lives right above in the same building.
I lived in a group home for 12 years. To be honest, I didn't really like it. I love independence.
My hat. Bob and I were talking about living on his own. And I said, go for it. And there's no harm for it, do it. People say, oh, he can't do this. And I said, he can do anything he wants to do. Beautiful water.
Back in 2005, Bob had an issue accessing the local Tim Hortons in his community. Near the entranceway there was a large garbage container receptacle that he didn't feel comfortable maneuvering around, because if by chance his wheels came too close, he would fall right into the path of the vehicles in the drive-thru.
I said to Harold, this is not good. I said, if you don't help me, I might fall off the curb.
It got to the point where Bob, a couple of times, because he was on his own, he went through the drive-thru, but then the exhaust fumes from the cars would, be up in his face, and it would bother him.
Bob and I talked about, you get the packet in Times in here, and then took his picture and my name, of course, and that started the whole thing.
And the issue was solved. They moved the container, made the doors accessible. Bob is now able to access Tim Hortons on his own.
All right, let's go.
I've always believed in having a voice in the community. Hypothetically, if you want anything, it won't come easy. You have to fight for it if you want anything.
Ian loves sports. He enjoys swimming, the beach, playing with his dog, Jimmy Jowls.
It's just a great evening. It's a celebration of Simcoe Community Services, but what it symbolizes is inclusion in our community, not only on the runway, but in our lives every day, at work and at play. And it's just great to be a part of this evening and represent those with intellectual disabilities, both young and old, in the Barrie and surrounding area.
You like this shirt? Huh? Did you try it on already? With Zach, it's all about inclusion. He loves to do everything. He loves to be around people. He's very social. So an event like this is, just geared for Zach and his personality.
Zach Sledgehammer Truitt. So a little bit about Zach. We already know that he loves music.
Patience, kindness, love. He's been sent to teach us all of those things. Love is the biggest thing, I think.
Zach, staying alive, Sledgehammer Truitt.
Good job, Zach.
I feel so strongly about inclusion that I wrote and published a book called Inclusion is Beautiful. It was a labor of love. That's my dog, Cody, on the front cover with me.
Here, Doug. We're going to miss you here.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to miss you too.
This is Doug's last day. He's been at Harvey's for over 12 years, probably closer to 15 years. And today he will be saying goodbye to everybody and saying goodbye to the #1 supervisor that he's had for the last 10 years, which is Laura.
Have you done the garbages in the dining room?
Yeah, I'm going to finish the bathrooms first.
Oh, right. He's wonderful. He's the longest employee here. Very dependable, very reliable. His work ethic is amazing. He's the best employee I've got. We're going to miss him very much. It's great that we get to see him around town, and he says he'll come back to visit. So, and he's Doug, so he'll be back.
Happy terming to you, Doug. Happy terming to you.
How do you feel about being your last day? Are you a little sad? Are you happy?
No, I'm kind of happy. I like to have friends like Laura and Diane and them, because they're my best friends too.
Go right through. Push, push, push. Did you get some on your finger?
No. And I just wanted to find out if it's okay for everybody I can come back and visit.
Absolutely, Doug. You don't have to ask.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And there's your card.
Thank you for being such a dedicated employee. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Simcoe Community Services is celebrating 60 years of service in Simcoe County.
It's a celebrity baseball game, mixing people who we know in the community, like our MPPs, people from media, with people that we support in our organization. So that's adults who have an intellectual disability.
We are the SS and we can't be beat because we got the power to knock you off your feet.
It's fun because I've met a lot of new people and I've seen a lot of old friends that I haven't seen in a while.
The teams are mixed, and I think a lot of that is education, that we're all basically the same. We all want to participate, have fun. Maybe some days we hit a home run and some days we just get to first base or even strike out, but that can happen whether you have a disability or you're running the city. So it's a good equalizer, and it teaches us all to respect each other's abilities.
But heroes often fail, and you won't read that book again because the ending's just too hard to take. Music makes me feel free. I can express myself the way I want to, depending on the song. It can make me feel happy, it can make me feel sad, it can make the bad feelings go away, it can just be a normal day and I'll still listen to music and I'll still like it. I get teased. When I use my walker, I get teased and say that, you know, I kind of walk like a penguin, but, you know, I just look past that and say, well, at least I'm trying to do things that I never thought I could do. I like having my independence because it shows people that I can do things without help, and sometimes if I get stuck, then I ask for help, but most of all, I just like having my independence because it builds my confidence as a person, as an individual, and as a person with a disability. A lot of people look at you like, you know, you have a disability, you need help, or you have a disability, we're just gonna like put our heads up in the air and walk away from you. Taking the bus really displays my independence, as far as I've heard from a lot of my friends. I take the bus to work, I take the bus to physio, and from physio back home, and I take the bus every day when I'm out with my friends. So yeah, the bus is a very big thing to my independence, as well as being on my own, as well as doing everything basically on my own. The bus is one big thing that gets me from point A to point B. My hopes and my dreams is that one day, I don't know, I could just get up and walk with nothing to hold on to. And just to have people like me for who I am, and not what I have or, you know, what I do. Just like an old time movie about a ghost telling my wishing well. In a castle dark or a fortress strong with chains upon my feet. When people listen to my voice, it has crossed my mind that they're listening to me and not looking at me as a person with a disability. Yeah, it is a good feeling.
Sometimes we get so caught up in the day-to-day activities of what we do and the seriousness of providing the support and all the programs, and it's really nice just to get together for a casual day of fun and entertainment and music and laughter and celebrate the whole idea of inclusion and community.
Thank you. Well, inclusion is the basis of everything that we do. It's important from so many perspectives that we make sure that everyone that we support has an opportunity to be fully included in the community.
My chair is not, I can't walk. Don't look at my chair. Look at me as an individual. I don't let any of my disabilities stop me as a person.
Everybody in their own way has a disability, whether you know it or not. Whether it's emotional, social, physical. I just want people to know that don't treat us any different.
I look at it as God giving me a second chance, because I did have a code blue in the hospital and I don't want to have it again. So I got an angel or somebody over my bed that very night, and I can say to everyone around the world that miracles do happen every day.
I hope everyone discovers the hero inside of them. A flower that can bloom through adversity is one of...
It has an opportunity to be fully included in the community.
My chair is not, I can't walk. Don't look at my chair. Look at me as an individual. I don't let any of my disabilities stop me as a person.
Everybody in their own way has a disability, whether you know it or not. Whether it's emotional, social, physical. I just want people to know that don't treat us any different.
I look at it as God giving me a second chance because